Hello and welcome to the Florida Man Podcast. I'm Ghost.
I'm Ash.
And this is the podcast where we read to you Florida Man headlines. So let's get started. Hello and welcome back to the new episode of the Florida Man Podcast. So for January 4th, we have 5 headlines for you all. So first up, we have police arrest Florida man suspected of pointing a laser at a pilot. And this happened in Daytona Beach, Florida. Daytona police have arrested a man they say admitted to pointing a laser at a pilot and control tower while a plane was landing. The Daytona Beach News Journal reports police arrested 23-year-old Gerardo Sanchez Sunday night on a charge of pointing a laser light at a driver or pilot. Police responded to a call made by the control tower at Daytona Beach International Airport regarding a green laser being pointed at the tower in a plane. They found Sanchez walking along the street and stopped him. Officers say he admitted to possessing a laser and pointing it in the vicinity of a plane. Police also say Sanchez told them he was an aviation student. Sanchez was booked at Volusia County Branch Jail. It's unclear if he has an attorney. Well, that was stupid.
Florida man arrested after hitting dad with pizza because he was mad he helped birth him. Coming out of Holiday, Florida, a man in Pasco County was arrested for domestic battery after admitting he hit his dad in the face with a slice of pizza because he was mad his dad helped birth him. That don't even sound right. Okay. Yeah. An affidavit shows 33-year-old Robert Houston held his dad down and yelled at him after shoving the pizza in his face. After letting his dad get up, Houston went outside and waited for authorities to arrive, according to the affidavit. Houston told deputies he knew he was going to jail when they arrived on scene. Deputies observed chunks of cheese and sauce where the incident happened, and 2 other family members backed up what the victim said. Houston was taken to the Land O'Lakes Detention Center. He is facing a charge for domestic battery.
Next up, we have Florida man bites officer after hitting another with a car and dancing in traffic. This comes out of Winter Garden, Florida. An Orlando man fleeing Winter Garden police struck an officer with a car and bit another on the leg Tuesday evening after causing thousands of dollars in property damage at a convenience store, the arrest affidavits show. Employees of the mobile gas station asked authorities to trespass Malik Smith, 27, from the property after he jumped on the counter of 592 Smoke Shop, which is located in the store, where he destroyed display cases and pulled a light fixture out of the ceiling, an affidavit describes. Winter Garden police responded to the store around 7:50 p.m., but Smith had already left, harassing customers on his way out after causing approximately $2,000 in damages, according to the officials. As an officer went over surveillance video with the store owner, the proprietor saw Smith walking back to the business and identified him, police said. Smith ran from the officers, ignoring verbal commands as he entered his vehicle and sped off from the gas station's fuel island to the other side of the parking lot, according to an affidavit. After a left turn, Smith approached the entrance of the store before stopping, revving his engine and accelerating through the entranceway. Well, that's one way to make a drive-through. 2 officers reported stepping out of the vehicle's erratic path as it accelerated in their direction. Smith swerved the vehicle towards one of the officers, striking the other's arm with a side mirror before speeding off westbound on Colonial Drive, police said. The officer was reportedly taken to a hospital for treatment, but the extent of the injuries were not released. Around 7:59 p.m., an officer en route to an unrelated call reported seeing a man, later identified as Smith, on the roof of a vehicle dancing and pointing at vehicles driving by. At Colonial's Drive's intersection with South Dillard Street, the affidavit states. The officer attempted to conduct a traffic stop that Smith initially did not comply with, pulling into a 7-Eleven parking lot and walking into the store as the officer waited outside. Once out of the store, the officer said Smith walked towards his vehicle and ignored his orders to get on the ground, prompting authorities and a canine officer to conduct a coordinated takedown. Smith resisted officers while on the ground and at one point biting the left thigh area of the reporting officer before the canine was deployed to help apprehend him. Still, police said Smith stood from the ground, evading the canine and appearing to resist the effects of pepper spray as he attempted again to enter his vehicle. An officer used a taser on Smith, causing him to fall as the canine got a successful bite to his upper right arm area, police said. Following a brief struggle, Smith was placed in double-locked handcuffs, taken to a hospital for evaluation for the dog bite, and taken to the Orange County Jail, where he is held without bond at the time of this report, record shows. Smith faces charges of battery on a law enforcement officer, aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer, fleeing or attempted to elude a police officer, criminal mischief over $1,000 violation of probation, resisting an officer with violence, and 2 counts of resisting an officer without violence. He is very lucky he didn't get charged with attempted murder because he was purposely trying to run over that one police officer.
Oh.
But damn, what drugs was he on?
Meth. Florida man wakes to find burglar sucking his toes. Bradenton, Florida. A Florida man woke up on Christmas Eve to find a burglar sucking on his toes, according to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. When the Bradenton resident asked the stranger what he was doing in his house, the stranger said he was there to suck toes. According to an incident report obtained by the Bradenton Herald, a fight broke out, and during the struggle, the suspect tried to grab the victim's genitals and claimed to have a gun, the report says. Deputies said no weapon was found at the scene. The victim eventually forced the other man out of the house, but deputies say the suspect smashed one of the home's windows as well as the windshield of the resident's car. The Herald reports that investigators swabbed the victim's toes for DNA and tried to track the suspect with a police dog, but the alleged toe-sucking burglar escaped. What did I just read?
What the fuck? Yeah, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with people? So, when I mentioned in a couple of episodes earlier that we would have real cute or really good Florida headlines, and this last headline I have for you is exactly one of those. A Florida man finds his lost kitty 2,000 miles away in Colorado. And this comes out of Golden, Colorado, but it still has to deal with a Florida man. So, a cat who wandered away from his new home in Florida has been reunited with his owner after being found nearly 2,000 miles away in Colorado. Waylon, an orange-striped tabby cat, was reunited with Daniel Johns on Wednesday at the Foothills Animal Shelter in Golden. The cat went missing from Naples, Florida area in June, disappearing within an hour after Johns adopted the stray. Waylon apparently fled through a hole in the dryer vent. Last month, a woman in a Denver suburb noticed him hanging around as she walked her dog and brought him to the shelter. A microchip linked with the cat to Johns. It's not known how the cat made its way to Colorado, but one of the shelter's theories is that snowbirds may have taken the cat home with him.
What's a snowbird?
So snowbirds are people who, just like birds, they come down in the south for winter and then they go back up north. Okay. But anyways, we hope you enjoyed this really good, wholesome story for once, and it's not something crazy or tragic. So, anyways, join us tomorrow for even more Florida Man headlines. Thanks for listening.
Links on where to find us will be in the show notes.
And join us tomorrow for more news on the Florida Man.